is Dennis Hayward. I'm involved here with the farm at Kababala. I think it was somewhere in the early 90s that we were given title deeds to this land as a family enterprise, I suppose. After, living on here for a while and looking at some of the land and stuff, that we have, there was a couple of areas that we were concerned about, particularly in relation to salinity. With the NRM, we've been involved with them for some time, and it was through that process that we were able to work with NRM in regards to getting some of our salt-affected areas planted with saltbush. And maybe as you can see, this particular little area that we're looking at here was virtually succumbing to salt. After our discussions with NRM, it was decided that we would put some saltbush in here to counteract the salt which was creeping in back up into the paddocks. So we've planted all this saltbush, and it was only 10 months ago that this bush was planted, and you can see now, the size that some of these bushes are. In particular, if you take a look a bit further on, you can see where, it's taken hold and it's grown up a lot better than some of the other patches in here. And there's no doubt, within 2 to 3 years, after all this takes up, this will virtually be a green patch. There's another couple of areas on the property that we looked at, but at some stage, I suppose, down the track, NRM will look at that, and if there is any inclination that the salt may spread into, into the paddocks and things like that, then the possibility is that we can, do another program like this. Well, I don't think that we're as bad off as a lot of other people, who own properties, particularly in the wheat belt and things like that, where, salt is, some areas taken over, whole paddocks and things like that. We are less fortunate here that we have a small portion of our property has been salt affected. And hopefully, with this program, we can maintain control over that salt.
Me and my nephew built a fence along here, back this way, goes back that way down there and further down there, and the fence was put in to help keep stock out of the salt bush that we planted, and hopefully later on down the track, when these plants actually get a little bit bigger, when we get our own stock, we can put the stock in to more or less prune the plants and keep them down, because if they get too large, then they go into a stage where the animals won't touch them. So we've got to have those plants at a certain height for the new stuff to come through. If the salt bush don't get pruned or looked at, kept by the stock with the smaller stuff, then it grows more or less a few metres high, and then I think what happens to it is that, like I said, it goes all stuff that the stock won't touch, and then we don't know if it gets out of hand or not, because a lot of these programs that have happened, people have always kept these bushes at a certain height, so it's just maintaining the water level. So just to make sure that it doesn't bring more salt up than what's already come through. There has been, over the years and years, there's been a lot of the natural bushland that has been taken out of this country. An example is right here, where this salt is. Now, replanting, revegetating is another thing that we love to do. And then when these things all come back, hopefully it'll help keep the water table down, but it'll also help bring back the native wildlife that belongs in this country. And I'm talking about small birds, scrub birds, larger birds, and then the smaller marsupials, talking about all those things. With the lack of cover and the lack of vegetation, these things are living in very small pockets. And then if you get vermin in, like foxes and cats, they've got no chance. They cannot take off and run out into an open field because they don't do that. They stay in the bush where they belong. You get in these vermin and it just wipes them out. So we've got to bring all these things back because the species of smaller mammals in this country is diminishing continuously. And before too long, we'll probably end up with nothing.
We were looking at some form, and I think there is going to be a workshop that we will attend in the next couple of days or a couple of weeks in regards to looking at what traditional tucker could be grown on, bush tucker that could be grown on the property. You know, the girls have already spoken about this. They've spoken about quandongs and, you know, other things, tummocks, Norgens and all those kind of things, you know, which a lot of people are not familiar with. In growing bush tucker, we would need to talk to the people who are, you know, been doing this program previously to find out, you know, what soils will grow what and things like that. So, and then we can get a fair indication of what we can look at growing.
You've done a very good fence, mate. I really enjoyed it, and yes, you've done really good, but I'll tell you what, that'd keep an elephant out, I believe. Anyway.
Everything up that we need.
Yep.